This is Listen After Watching,
a podcast where we recap and discuss the most mind-bending, twisty, and thought-provoking TV shows and movies out there. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Alicia. Let's dive in. Welcome back to your favorite sibling podcast. I know we're your favorite. I'm Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Adrian. What's up, y'all?
We're taking on new personas this podcast, I guess. Oh, man. Happy Tuesday for us. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I feel like we should bring back your favorite non-incestuous sibling podcast for this episode.
We definitely need that disclaimer today.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, we will be talking about incestuous behavior, but we are non-incestuous, I must reiterate.
Yes, so true. So true, Leash. I forgot that we had to record this because Severance ended, and then I was like, yay, we get a break!
Nope. We still have a couple more episodes of this, but...
yeah, we're almost... The season's close to ending, though. I think we have 2 more episodes.
2 more.
Wow.
Can't believe. Well, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Give me a second, man. How you doing, Leash?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. No, I'm good. I started getting a little headache, so I'm pushing through. I'm the world's strongest soldier today Listen, people don't know your history with me, so you just sound mean.
Between you and Abby, I hear about so many ailments and illnesses.
Abby, like my girl.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. Like, something's going to be wrong. I'm going to be like, okay.
Listen, it's not the boy who cried wolf. It's called chronic issues.
Yeah.
Not undiagnosed. Issues. But anyway.
Well, I have to say, even though we thought this season was a little slow in the first few episodes, things are picking up.
Things are getting mighty interesting for sure. Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. I think we're still building, but there's still a lot of really good, spicy, dramatic moments happening.
Yeah. I liked this episode. I liked their time at the monastery. I was also wildly uncomfortable. Wow, I can't even say it because I'm so uncomfortable. Wildly uncomfortable during the sex scenes.
Yeah, me too.
But, Mike White has to do it to us.
Well, let's just jump right into it. So, yeah, we're going to go down our groups of suspects, starting with the girls' trip. My ladies. Woo! So, this episode we see in the early morning hours, Kate discovers Valentine sneaking out of Jacqueline's room, and she goes and tells Lori at breakfast that morning. And Lori has quite a reaction. She finds Jacqueline's behavior deceitful, and she says it's just like Jacqueline to do that. Nothing's changed, and she calls her out for it later, poolside.
Okay, so yeah, we were wondering last episode if Lori was going to take this well, and she did not. But I'm still on Lori's side. I feel like Lori is the only one saying what's really going on between these 3 people.
Yeah.
And Kay is just trying to be like peacekeeper and doesn't want any trouble with anyone. Jacqueline is like so into herself and just like she can do no wrong, but everyone else can. It's just like, it's exhausting thinking of being friends with these people.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, I can totally understand how Lori might be feeling in this moment. And it's obvious, I mean, like from what she says, it's blatantly obvious that there's a lot of history of tension between these two, probably a lot of competition. Probably a lot of like Jacqueline always gets what she wants. Like she always takes what I want. So I think honestly, it's like, even though Lori goes about it undiplomatically, I think like you're right. She's the only one saying like what she's really feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like kind of uncomfy when she's like calling them out, but
yeah.
yeah, I feel like she's the only one who's saying what she means, so you can't really fault that. But yeah, Jacqueline, and then at the end, Jacqueline being like, I get so much like gossip about me because I'm an actor, and I can't even trust my own friends to not talk shit about me behind my back. It's like, girl, we've seen you do this the entire time.
Right? This isn't like gossiping about you. We're talking about things that like actually happened with like this weird situation where you were pushing this guy on your friend and then you slept with him. Like, don't you think that's worth talking about?
Right. Also, the scene where her husband finally calls her back and she's like, ew, gross. You sick fook.
I know. Yeah. I mean, all the like competition part aside between the two of them, I just find it really gross that she would cheat on her husband in Thailand. You know?
Yeah.
Can we just, on a base level, can we just agree that that's wrong?
Can we all come together and agree on that? Even the Trump supporters. I think, but the funny thing is, that's not even the part that Lori's like upset about. Lori feels betrayed as a friend. Which, like, at the very least, she deserves, Jacqueline to like be honest with her about that, but doesn't happen. So are these three gonna make up before they leave Thailand? Probably not. I think we're descending into the depths of hell here.
It's just going to get worse and worse. And I mean, we'll see. The Muay Thai fights are still on the table, I guess. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Yeah, Lori wants to go. And now I have a feeling Lori's going to try to hook up with Valentine or someone to try to like act even crazier. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the staff. So Belinda has been getting it in. So, oh my God, when her son started walking up, I was like, no.
I know. I was like, dude, move faster. Like, get him up out of that bed.
I know. This guy's the slowest man to awaken. So obviously Zion walks in and catches Belinda and Pornchai in bed, which was a great way for her son to meet her boo thing. But Zion seems unfazed, honestly, so that was really good.
True, I know. It was kind of sweet. He was like, I'm glad you're getting some, like,
yeah,
good for you.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good relationship. But later that day, Pornchai tells Belinda that he's interested in opening a spa with her in Thailand.
Oh my gosh. Is it finally going to happen? I think we were all really disappointed when Tanya didn't follow through.
Yeah. And I think I couldn't get a good read on Belinda in this scene. She doesn't react with like, oh my God, that's like the best news ever. I think she's like feeling a little bit like jaded still. I'm like not sure if she should like take this seriously yet.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. I don't know. And like you just met this person and now you have like a romantic element involved too. So that complicates things majorly.
Yeah, it's moving very quickly here, which also makes me a little bit suspicious of Pornchai. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a lot at once.
Is Pornchai the killer?
He's definitely love bombing, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I'm hoping for the best for my girl, Belinda.
I know. Speaking of Belinda, I loved the scene between her and Fabian. So Fabian walks up to Belinda sitting at the table, I think at breakfast, and tells her he's holding a dinner for a few of the staff that night and announces that he is going to finally grace us with his singing performance.
I can't wait to see him sing. I hope it's the next episode.
You know, it's going to be like a compilation of him singing, and it's probably going to be hilarious. And then it's going to be like all this crazy shit happening in other scenes while he's singing.
I think you're right.
It's gotta be.
And Belinda does not have a good relationship with this guy anymore because he totally didn't believe her about Greg. So she's like, break a leg, break two legs. Hey.
I know. I love that she was like still like cordial with him, but made it obvious that he's even like, oh, how are you doing? Are you feeling better? And she's like, not really.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
But
the truth.
The most hilarious part is that I think everyone, it seems we learned through this episode, everyone has plans tonight. So I don't know who's actually going to Fabian's singing. We'll see.
True.
That'll be fun. And lastly, Guy Talk. Our boy Guy Talk finally did something right, ? So after his boss comes up to him and says, you know, we need to get you trained up on this gun. Let's go to the shooting range after your shift today. He sneaks into the Ratliff's villa. I was freaking out this whole time because he's taking forever. And of course, the Ratliffs are on their way back. Mm-hmm. But he looks over and sees the drawers and miraculously chooses the correct drawer first try.
That was crazy.
Finds the gun. Oh my God.
Yay. I'm so happy. Something had to go right for my boy.
I know. This is like guy can do no right. I can't even speak. But I'm hoping this is the beginning of Guy Talk's redemption arc. I don't know though. He's become so unfortunate. Mm-hmm. But the funny part is like Mook has never liked him more and given him more attention. But he's too distracted to even enjoy it.
Yeah. I know.
So
he's freaking out. But I think probably by the end of this episode, I think he's feeling pretty good. Like he did well at the shooting range. He's got plans with Mook that night.
Yeah.
Like he's on cloud 9.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to show their date because I'm really curious. I'm curious to see more Mook. We need something else from her.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of her. Maybe because she's world famous princess of Thailand.
She's busy.
Yeah, she's got other things to do.
I was thinking about this the other day because she's like so incredibly famous. Maybe she wouldn't agree to a character that was bad. You know what I mean? That was like evil.
Maybe.
So I'm wondering, you know, we had suspicions at the beginning that she was like in on like the robbery or some of these like darker things. And now I'm like, would they even do that? Like, would she agree to be a part of that? I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Well, I guess we'll see. I hope we do see their date. I think that would be cute.
Yeah. Don't have a misfire. Guy Talk.
Oh, God. Well, shall we move on to our favorite Southern family?
Yes, we shall.
Our favorite incestuous Southern family, the Ratliffs. So something that we see a couple scenes of this episode is Timothy is having these vivid visions / nightmares of killing himself and killing Victoria. I think the episode opened with him shooting himself.
Yeah.
And Victoria discovering him and then Piper running over. It was jarring.
I know. And this is when he still had the gun. So, of course, as the viewer, we're like believing it. But at the same time, I was like, there's no way Mike White is going to have this guy shoot himself in the head on the White Lotus.
Really dark.
It just seemed too dark in a not funny way.
Right.
We see dark in a way that is like funny or where like a bad character is kind of getting what they deserve or something like that. But this just didn't fit. So I was really glad to see that it was just like his hallucination.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate to having you know, those moments where you're thinking about, like, you're so anxiety ridden, you're thinking about something and you're imagining how it will go and like how people will react, even some imaginary scenario, like something that might never happen.
Conversation or something.
Yeah. So, you know, he's like, he is really racking his brain on this. He gets some insight a little later, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, he's going through it.
Indubitably.
Well, our incestuous brothers, Saxon and Lachlan, both claim to remember nothing of the previous night's encounter. Saxon is, though, very disturbed when Chloe tells him later that Lachlan masturbated him. Please. I hesitate to even say masturbated while having sex with Chloe, which Lachlan also suddenly remembers when he's meditating later at the monastery. So,
oh my. I can't tell you how relieved I was to realize that Lachlan really didn't remember it because, last episode we talked about maybe he didn't take the pill and he seems to be more with it than Saxon is, like, during this encounter. But it seems like he really was just blacked out and, like, didn't remember what happened. I also can't tell you how many times I saw the word bro job in the White Lotus subreddit this week, which is highly disturbing.
Oh no. Oh no. It was incredibly hard to watch. Like I like the flashes of that scene. I'm pretty sure I was covering my face at some points. It was so icky.
Yeah, there's so many levels of why it was gross. Like Chloe preying on this kid, and then the brothers hooking up, the drugs and just being blacked out, and just like the whole situation. There's been a lot of talk about, I've seen a lot of discourse about like who is at fault here, like who is one of them the abuser, is one of them you know, the victim here. And it's really, it's like a really gray area, I feel like, with this specific encounter.
Yeah. I saw a thread on the White Lotus Reddit that was like someone talking about like not seeing a lot of empathy in that subreddit for Saxon, even though he's like a terrible person and we don't like him. And I think like, you know, there's like this karma element to what happened to Saxon. Like he is very much like predatory when it comes to what he wants. Like he says as much, and he's all for like taking what you want and going after it. And I think because it happened to him, this kind of karma happened to him where Lachlan, I mean, even though Lachlan probably wasn't fully there, like he was totally out of his mind on drugs and had been drinking. Yeah. I think there's a lack of empathy extending to Saxon. I think we can at least agree that what happened to him should not have happened. But
yeah, I mean,
we still hate
yeah, we still hate him. And I'm like, my point of view is like Saxon has essentially groomed Lachlan to do this.
Totally.
Like from the beginning, he's like, how am I going to jerk off with you in the room? And like walks around naked and like asks him what kind of porn he watches. Like it's all this stuff that like the way you would groom someone to like sexually abuse them. So honestly, no, I'm not feeling sorry for Saxon, really. I think he's getting a taste of what he dishes out on the daily, probably to women all the time.
Absolutely. Yep. Like and he doesn't like it because he wasn't the one to take it.
Exactly. Like how many women have woken up the next day with flashbacks of him, you know?
Ugh. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. It's rough. But honestly, we asked for this. We were like, please take Saxon down. It's in an uncomfortable way, and his brother's involved, but yeah, I think this is what Mike White served up for us, you know? It's not accidental.
Yeah. Saxon's undoing has started.
Yep. Chelsea has some funny and poignant lines when they're talking about what happened at the pool later. I think Saxon's like, oh, we were on drugs or whatever. And Chelsea's like, I don't think there's a drug in the world that would make me get with my brother.
That was a pretty good accent.
Thank you. It's just hilarious.
Oh,
I agree.
man.
Sorry, Leash.
Don't be sorry to me.
But he also asks, why didn't you hook up with me? I just don't understand. And Chelsea is like, you're soulless. It's sad. And I have found my soulmate in this person that I love. Like, why would I do this empty thing that would just not give me any satisfaction? And it's like this thing that he just can't understand. He's a sociopath. Isn't there. Yeah. It is sad. He's like, he's reaping what he sowed, but he can't like understand that there's even more to life, you know?
Yeah. He can't comprehend that. I love Chelsea. I hope that if there is a season 4, I hope that the kind of through line is Chelsea and Rick, or at least just Chelsea.
That would be fun. Yeah, I don't know if we need Rick, honestly. Chelsea's carrying the show right now.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen to Rick, so.
That's true. He might become an Asian woman.
Oh, no. Do you know that, this is kind of going to be a tangent, but do you know that one British person who,
yes,
like got all of that surgery to look like that guy from BTS?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm not on that side of the internet.
Dude, he says he's transracial. He says he's Korean now, but he's fully a white man.
It's like a Rachel Dolezal situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Anyway, maybe that will happen to Rick and Frank, and they can go off together and be little
and
Asian girls.
Bang each other and experience it all.
Anyway, Google a pic of that person. I don't remember their name, but look them up.
Google a pic of that person. We don't remember their name.
Just look up BTS transracial, and I'm sure something will pop up.
I'm so sorry for what you're going to see.
Anyway, let's talk about what else happens with the Ratliffs this episode. So Piper, Timothy, Victoria, and Lachlan go to the monastery to visit the monk and interrogate him, I guess. And Timothy has a conversation with the monk about death, and at the end agrees to let Piper stay in Thailand, and Victoria is not happy about it. I really, really enjoyed watching Timothy's conversation with this monk. It was, I felt like I wanted to read a book by this guy.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I wonder if this is
him.
really like a famous monk that has books and stuff. It might be.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I know he was so good with Piper and with the family too. But yeah, I don't know if Timothy needed this speech right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this episode, everything Timothy is hearing is like, kill yourself, kill your family.
That's true. It was not the right message for him, but yeah. So Piper is like, goes to see the monk, and she's like, can you just like talk to my family?
Yeah.
And she really opens up to him, and he very happily is like, yeah, bring them in. I'll answer their questions. And so Timothy, representing the family, goes in because Victoria's off talking to Chinese Buddhists, I guess, in her mind. But Timothy goes and talks to the monk and asks him basically like, why do you think my daughter wants to be here? And he explains that a lot of people in Western culture feel disconnected from nature, from their family, from their spirit, and that you can't outrun pain. And this really seems to land with Timothy a lot. I mean, it obviously is speaking to him, and all that he is trying to, escape from or figure out some solution to his pain that he's caused himself. And then Timothy asks him what happens after we die. And the monk basically says, like, he gives this really beautiful analogy about a water droplet rising up when you're born, and then as you age, it descends, and you are rejoined with this shared consciousness. And then he says death is a happy return. And ooh, I'm worried about that.
I know. Timothy's like, okay.
You don't say. I was hoping you'd say that.
It's sounding better and better. Yeah, I really liked that analogy too. It was kind of sad for me because I was like, oh no, I'm starting to descend.
I know.
My droplet's descending.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, when do you reach the peak and when do you start to fall down?
Yeah, maybe that's not part of the analogy.
No, but if we were to put an age on it, what would we say? Maybe like
36 and 3/4.
God, I was going to say earlier.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. I feel like, well, at least like physically when you start aging, happens pretty young now because we live so long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm descending. Damn it.
We're all descending.
Guy talk. I'm going to need that back.
Put it back in the drawer. You know the one.
Okay. Just kidding, everyone. This is jokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hilarious to me that Victoria is still like reeling from this news that Piper's leaving. And even like later when Timothy's like in bed and obviously still like very worried about the whole situation, she's like, don't worry, I'm gonna get her to come back and she's gonna be a normal person like us. And he's like, I'm not worried in the slightest about that. It's just like the worst thing she can imagine in this moment. Unbeknownst to her, like her sons are hooking up. You're completely broke.
Oh my God.
Don't have a home to go back to. You're in legal trouble. You're completely embarrassed. It's just so comical.
It is.
And then she's also like going on about how Piper needs to fear poverty and not be okay with being poor. And then, we should talk about this. The conversation that Timothy and Victoria have about like, you know, what if we lost our earthly possessions or whatever? And Victoria's like, yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for that. I don't think I could go on like that. Yeah. And it's just like piling on reasons for Timothy to like end this family.
Exactly. Yeah. But he doesn't have his gun anymore. So
he doesn't know that yet. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess one more thing I want to talk about with the Ratliffs is that Victoria makes a deal with Piper and is like, you can come live here for a year if you stay the night tonight and, you know, you're like okay with it. And she basically is like, you know, I don't think she can live without her creature comforts and she doesn't realize how good she has it. And honestly, I would be suffering without my YouTube app on my phone playing every minute of every day.
Yeah, I think Piper's so ready for this, though.
I think so, too. Yeah.
I think Piper's ready for this.
She proves that she can do it, and I think she will. And this is when Lachlan, he says he's going to stay with her there, too, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But that's when he has the realization of what happened with Saxon. Now he's got to stay in that monastery meditating, like,
I know,
thinking about that.
I'm honestly really worried that he's going to have some sort of spiritual awakening this night that they're staying there. And it's going to be like more about the bro job, etc.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm kind of scared about that. I think there are going to be spiritual awakenings during this night at the monastery.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yikes. Whew. But yeah, I hope Piper pulls through and she gets to stay there. We'll see. Mm-hmm. She might have to stay there, so the whole family might have to.
Honestly, Timothy might enroll. He seems ready in some ways.
Right?
I thought he was going to be like, sign me up.
Yeah, like shave my head, get me in that orange robe. Oh, man. All right, well, let's move on to our final group of suspects, the outlaws. Mm-hmm. So Greg, it turns out, suspects that Chloe had sex with either Saxon or Lachlan, or both, and tells her to invite the boys to a dinner party that night. Mm-hmm. And then later in the episode, Greg also runs into Belinda in a jump scare that freaked me out. And then Greg invites Belinda to the dinner party also. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what he has planned here, but he does say to Chloe, like, invite all these people over. I want to have people over. I need your help with something.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good.
I'm not happy about this. I'm not. Belinda just needs to stay her ass at the hotel and watch Fabian sing.
Yes.
Okay.
It might not feel as good in the moment, but for your eternity, it will be better.
Like, what reason? So I think, don't she and Zion talk this episode too? He's like, maybe you should go and talk with him, or maybe that was the teaser for next episode.
I think it might be the teaser for the next episode. So I think Zion is going to play a part in getting her there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, what reason would Belinda have to go there? She's terrified of him.
Totally. But wouldn't it advance the plot if she did go? So
wouldn't it? And maybe she'll feel safe with Zion there. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But
another thing we have to look forward to. First it was the boat, and now it's Greg's dinner party. Mm-hmm. But back in Bangkok, Rick persuades Sritala to invite him and Frank, who's posing as a film director, back to her house in Bangkok. There, Rick and Frank arrive, and Rick finally is introduced to Jim, who we hear the voice of, but we don't see.
Yeah. Ooh, who's it gonna be? I'm sure we could look at IMDb and figure it out.
No, Leash, no.
I'm not going to.
It's not that type of podcast. This is a head empty podcast.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Rick and Sritala, when they first meet, Rick is really trying to like gas her up about this guy, like this producer who wants to meet her, says he loves her. She's like, he's like, oh, he loves all of your movies. And she's like, which ones? And he's like, I can't recall at the moment. And she's like, well, they were all bad, so I don't know why he would like them.
Well, the way she says it cracked me up. She was like, oh, they're all not very good, but I would love to know which ones.
Yeah.
She's loving all the praise. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm hoping this is like a big reveal. I did see one hilarious fan theory that was like, what if he gets there and Jim is Gary's twin brother, Greg?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And the other guy was Gary all along.
That's so funny. Wow. That'd be great.
That would never happen, but
no.
I think it would be hilarious if, not hilarious, but I'm hoping it's someone like consequential to us, you know?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. But one other thing about Sritala is that she has heavy security around her.
Yeah, it's not just a regular hotelier security.
No, she's got like huge dudes with, I think they had earpieces in and everything. Like they're organized.
They're tattooed. They have guns on them visibly. Yeah, something's definitely, there's something more than just businesses happening here.
You would think.
we'll see. But I'm also wondering, like, she said Jim's not doing well. I wonder if, like, he's visibly, like, in really bad shape. And then Rick's gonna, like, kind of reconsider his strategy. Because did you see, he told his friend Frank that he wasn't going to bring the gun, but when they were getting out of the boat, he did have the gun, right?
Well, I couldn't tell. Like in his jacket, you mean?
Yeah, it seemed like he had like a side holster in there because it showed like a little bit of black.
I saw that too, but I couldn't tell if it was a gun or something else. And I think like his jacket, I was saying to Matt when we were watching it, I was like, does he have the gun? No, I don't think so. His jacket is like linen. It's so light. If there was a gun in there, it would be weighing the whole front down. Like it would look ridiculous.
I think he has a side holster on. But I was also, it's funny that you're thinking about the jacket because I was also thinking, but his jacket's kind of flapping open, so the security would totally see this.
Right, yeah.
But after he does that little adjustment and there's the black thing, his friend Frank kind of like rolls his eyes like, oh, of course you brought it. So I don't know.
It's a bad move. Bad move to bring it. Why would you do that?
No, we're getting all these like very slight hints of things on camera that we're not sure if we're supposed to know.
Yeah. Also, Chloe says again, I think, to Rick, bad things happen in threes.
Yeah.
So I'm something bad is going to happen. So here's where the next episode takes us. So there's a lot of events happening this night. There's Greg Gary's party, which we don't know who's going to go yet, but we can assume that Saxon and Lachlan, maybe all the Ratliffs, except for Piper and Lachlan, who are at the monastery, will go. And then probably Belinda and Zion will end up going for some reason.
Yeah.
Then there's the Muay Thai fights that probably all of the girls will go to.
Yeah.
And there's also Rick in Bangkok with Sritala and Jim and Frank.
Well, what about Fabian singing?
And Fabian singing, which character is going to stick around so that we can see that? I mean, we've got to see this.
Mook. Yeah.
And Mook and Guy Talk's date.
Oh, yeah. Mook can't go. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
it's a huge night in Thailand.
It's a big night. I'm excited for this next episode.
Me too. Oh, my God. It's just like building and building and building. I think it's going to be a good one. All right, let's talk about a few theories we've kind of hinted at a little bit here. So a big theory going around, Timothy is going to kill his family. I think the conversation with Victoria this episode gave him more reason to like put at least her out of her misery instead of finding out this bad news that he has to tell everyone. I think it could happen. It could happen. I'm not like, I'm not putting that one aside. I will say Spooky Fan 2 on Reddit says, imagine he poisons his whole family with the intent of shooting himself after, only to find the gun missing. Now that would be dark.
Ooh, yeah. Ugh. Well, I mean, you would just think maybe he would go get more poison
Make
fruit.
more poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I also, because Chelsea keeps saying bad things happen in threes, I wonder if the three siblings have something to worry about. Because they've been fashioned as the three monkeys. Hear no evil, speak no evil. See no evil. So what if it's the three siblings that die, and then it's like Victoria and Timothy have to confront that there's so much more to life that they should be caring about than this money and this status and all this stuff that they've, made the forefront of their lives.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Well, the last theory I want to talk about is Greg potentially funding Belinda's dream spa. So lots of folks, Greg Gary. We know he has a lot of money, and lots of folks have connected that Belinda's scoop on Greg, potentially damning evidence or something like that, and her dream of owning a spa. He's got money. She has blackmail. Maybe there will be some sort of hush money deal, and she'll ride off into the sunset with Porn Chai to create their spa.
Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, because Greg didn't have anything, like, he didn't have any part physically in killing Tanya. Like, he didn't do it himself. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
I think he's not the type to get his hands dirty. So
Yeah.
maybe Belinda's life is not in danger like we feel like it is. And he's really just, yeah, I feel like this got legs to it. He could give her, yeah, some money, and then she's set up perfectly to do that if she wants to.
Yeah, I feel like Belinda is also a perfect character to kind of taint in a way, to like give her this happiness, but kind of taint her in a way where she's like accepted this like dirty money, you know?
Totally.
I think that's a great White Lotus storyline.
Ooh, you know what she says in this episode? She quotes Scarface, right? She's like, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the girl. Something like that. So maybe that's what she's going to get the money. She's going to open her spa, and she's going to propose to Porn Chai.
Get the girl, Porn Chai. Oh, shit. That's so true. Oh, I love that theory.
I love that too. I hope that happens, actually. That would be great.
Good. That would be good.
Okay, Mike White, we're on to you.
Yeah, Mike White. Just listen to the pod. You'll know what to do.
He listens. He's an avid listener.
Listens. Hi, Mike. We love you.
We love you so much. Been fans since School of Rock. But anyway, what a great episode. I'm excited. 2 more episodes left, right?
I think so.
So hang on with us. And if you listen to Severance, thanks for listening. We're going to do one more bonus episode, I think, in the next week or so here. Just talking about like what we think is going to happen in season 3. Season 2 was such a fun ride. I'm so sad it's over.
I know. And everyone who didn't jump in on the Severance bandwagon, this is your time to catch up. You have plenty of time. There is going to be a 3rd season. So start back on season 1. Take your time. Watch it. You can listen to our pod all about season 2 for every episode. But just a really good show.
And I also wanted to plug that once White Lotus ends, we are getting a new season of Black Mirror on Netflix. So
from White Lotus to Black Mirror.
I'm genuinely pumped about that because I love Black Mirror. I'm so excited. And I think there's even like a continuing storyline in one of the episodes from a previous season, which has never happened since it's an anthology series. So every episode is like its own mini movie. So
that's fun.
Check it out if you haven't. You do not have to watch any past seasons. You can just jump right into season 7 of Black Mirror. So join us for that when that starts in April.
Yeah, that'll be good. And yeah, I'm excited for these last 2 episodes. I think it's just gonna be wild. And
it's gonna be crazy.
Crazy bad things happen in 3.
Crazy in Bangkok.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening this week. We will see you next Wednesday where we'll talk about episode 7 of The White Lotus. Until then, sawadee crap.
Sawadee crap, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.